I would like to share a story with you guys. This story is about a guy named Derek Humphrey. He is a British journalist. Back in 1974, Derek Humphrey's wife, Jean, was diagnosed with bone cancer. Jean had been suffering with bone cancer for a while. Thrombosis had set in. Her bones were literally cracking, and she was losing control of her bowels. One day, Jean sat up in the bed and looked at Mr. Humphreys and said, "Would you help me die?" I want you to pause for a minute and put yourself into this situation. Now, be it if you're in this situation as Jean, a woman diagnosed with cancer who's suffering every day, in pain every day, looking down death every day. She's losing her autonomy, her ability to take care of herself, losing her bowel function, which is affecting her dignity. Or put yourself in the position of her husband, Mr. Derek Humphrey, who is watching his wife die a slow and agonizing death. Ask yourself, what would I do in this situation? What would I do for my loved one? Or what would I want done for me in that situation? As a nurse, I have taken care of patients who have been placed on hospice and given only a couple of months to live. I have seen the pain, the suffering, the loss of dignity that they experience firsthand. I've seen the mental, physical, financial strain that it has put on these patients and their families. That's why today I want to talk to you about legalizing euthanasia. Euthanasia is painless killing of a patient who has an incurable or painful terminal disease. And it could be just a terminal disease or just a painful disease that's incurable, that is hindering them in their activities of daily living. You may have heard euthanasia referred to as assisted suicide or physician assisted suicide. I feel that euthanasia should be legalized because we as humans, just seeing someone suffer, I think it's inhumane, and I think that it's unethical for us to make decisions for other people when we have no experience of what they're going through for ourselves. I could not imagine having my dignity taken from me to where I can't control my bowels, and I'm having to have people to come and clean feces off me, urine off me. I believe that it would bring a sort of mental comfort to take control of death. There are currently two states in the United States who have legalized euthanasia, and that is Washington and Oregon. I feel that we here in America, in Tennessee, euthanasia should be an option for every person. America is the land of the free, and I feel that people should have that option to make that decision for themselves. I do believe that there are certain criteria that should be met in making these decisions. I believe that the patient should be competent enough to say, this is what I would like to have done. I feel that another criteria should be their diagnoses is terminal. They're terminal, or it's a situation where they're in pain that is incurable. I think that the patient should exhaust all other measures, whether that's therapy, whether that's palliative care, or any kind of series of medications. I also believe that two or more physicians should be involved in the whole process of the euthanasia. They should agree that the prognosis is grim, or that there will not be any improvement in the patient's condition. I think that when the euthanasia is performed, it should be performed under a physician's care, so that it can be done safely and effectively without any suffering. Where there's a medication that's administered that puts the patient to sleep, and eventually they die peacefully in their sleep. I believe that we should write legislation, or put together a plan, write legislation, and present them to lawmakers. We had tried this back in the 90s. It was proposed for an aid in dying legislation, and it was refused. But I think as time has advanced, more and more physicians are agreeing that this should be an option. So I believe that we should take the time and try again to try to get it legalized in all 50 states or 51 states, to give people a chance to control their own destinies and to live their last days in a way that is suitable to them, and leave their families with positive memories and images of them, versus being the shell of the person that they once were. So I implore you to look within yourself and help these patients to achieve what they would like to achieve. Thank you.